with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Woo! Almost forgot to add myself to the show. We're about to have a ghost in the house. But hell yeah. Hell's coming with us. Hell is coming with us now, my friends, as we're in the stretch run. College football's down to 3 teams. We're down to Ohio State versus the Texas Long Turds, and the winner gets to play. That's right. Those Notre Dame Golden Domers trying to win their first national championship since 1988. Last time they played in the national title game was against Cuz's team, West Virginia. That tells you it's been a long time since Notre Dame's won a national championship. Sort of got a feel for them. Never have been a big, huge Notre Dame fan because of the whole independence thing that they keep trying to be all elite about. But I'm coming around a little bit to Notre Dame because I must admit, like most people, I do like Marcus Freeman. So let's see who we got up here in the house already. Mary Caroline was the first one to respond today. She's number 1 on the ballot today. I'm going to think of something for the very first comment in each and every live stream from now on. But I'm going to go ahead and put something on real quick to see what y'all think about these. I got me some of these because these are going to be my version of con time Deion Sanders bullshit shades that he puts on at press conferences when he's trying to spout bullshit. He don't want you to see his beady little eyes. So let's check these out. My crimson colored glasses. And that's what I put on when I don't want to admit that I'm wrong about my team or admit anything is wrong in Crimson Nations. Got my own con time Deion Sanders bullshit shades. How y'all like them? Y'all like them? I'll wear them more often if you want me to. But for now, I'm going to take them off because I can't see shit with them things on. All right. Mary Caroline says, hey, everyone. Kane Reed's in the house, and he says, what's up, everyone? My balls. What's wrong with your balls, man? Told you to stay away from them skanks down there in Tulsa, man. What I tell you about that? John Ritchie's in the house. What's going on, Posse? Nothing much, brother. Fred Bagley's also in the house. He has his badge. He's deputized. He's got that little something extra. He's not just a member of the show. He also actually he is a member. He's not just a subscriber. He's a member to the show. If you want to get a badge and get deputized like him, it's not $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. Little join button, buy the subscribe button. You get a random 4 Horsemen shout out on the actual podcast, maybe even on the live stream as well as possible be the comment of the day. Today we're going to discuss Ohio State versus Texas. Ryan Day from What USA Today is saying may be entertaining ideas of going to the SEC after next season if Ohio State continues to be not showing a lot of gratitude to Ryan Day. I think the man's like 68-10 or something, 69-10. Y'all help me out with the stat there. I'm not real sure about that, but all I know is he's got a pretty nice record, and because he can't beat Michigan, they continue to try to get this guy fired. But if he wins a national championship, can you really fire somebody for winning a national championship? At Ohio State, they might, because that Michigan game to them, I think, might be more important than a national title game. What do y'all think? Also, Notre Dame is smiling today because of some stuff that Brian Kelly said in the past, and it seems like it's coming back to haunt Brian Kelly. Seems like there's a little karma coming back to hunt old Brian Kelly. But, old Brian Kelly had said that he had to leave Notre Dame to win a national championship. And it looks like that old Marcus Freeman is one game away from making Brian Kelly look like a complete idiot. Not only that, but Brian Kelly, you ain't got to worry about winning national titles, Brian. You can't even win when we had divisions. Well, actually, you did win division, but you can't even win the SEC title, man. You can't even win a conference championship, Brian. Yet, Marcus Freeman is on the cusp of winning a national championship. Eco Jar says he likes the crimson glasses. Ha ha, I like it. I'm going to go ahead and try to invite some people up in here for y'all real quick. Let me send this out real quick for y'all. But what do y'all think about Ryan Day possibly leaving and going to the SEC next year? This was an article from USA Today, and I'll bring it up for y'all in just a minute, just a moment. Can't even speak tonight. Here we go. All right. Let me go ahead and bring that up for y'all real quick. All right. Can y'all see that? There it is. On Thursday night, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish won a thriller, taking down Penn State on a last-second field goal to advance to the college football playoff national championship game. While many were talking about the game, a ton of focus was shifted toward current LSU coach and former Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly. Kelly left Notre Dame citing that he wanted to go to the SEC to compete for national titles. This came as Brian Kelly went to the college football playoff multiple times, but failed to win a game. Blaming his players, blaming the institution of Notre Dame. You know, the one that's probably one of the more famous traditional powers in college football. They've never won national titles at Notre Dame, right, Brian Kelly? As Marcus Freeman won his third college football playoff game, Brian Kelly quickly became the butt of the joke. And it quotes him right here saying, "I want to be in an environment where I have the resources to win national championships." And there is Barstool Sports making fun of him doing his cringy-ass dance, as you can see right here. I'm not going to play that shit because it will get us demonetized. There's Brian Kelly with the famous sissy, the biggest sissy fist pump, biggest sissy fist slamming on the desk I've ever seen in my life. "It's just got to stop," said Brian Kelly. One user pointed out that Notre Dame was on the brink of winning a national title and what that means for Kelly's future. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame because he didn't think he could win a national title. He thought LSU would be a better path. His replacement at Notre Dame is just 60 minutes away from a title as Kelly enters the season on a hot seat now. And he's giving money away, left and right. Left and right, Kelly's giving money away. But that was the first one I wanted to touch on today. As Notre Dame, as I said, is on the brink of a national championship. Notre Dame is smiling. Like I said, I haven't really been a big Notre Dame fan in the past, but there's something about this that feels pretty good, especially for Marcus Freeman and the fact of Brian Kelly saying what he said about not being able to win a national title at Notre Dame. And then you have all these idiots that were trying to play the race card and saying that him and James Franklin could possibly be the first black coach in the national title game, when in all actuality, they're not black. They're biracial. And a lot of biracial people get insulted when you call them black, because when you do that, you're not recognizing their other side of their heritage. Not because they don't like being black, and not because they're racist against their own race or half their race, but because you're showing disrespect to their other side of their family. Like, for example, Tiger Woods back in the day. Tiger Woods, they was talking about him being the first black PGA winner or something, or, you know, winning the green jacket as the first black man to do it and all that stuff. And Tiger Woods told him, "I'm not black." And he took a lot of blowback from that. But what he told him was, "Look, for me to say I'm black is a disrespect to my mother's side of the family. His mother is Asian. So why can't he be the first Asian to do something?" Just like with Marcus Freeman, why can't he be the first Asian Korean coach to win a national championship or be in a national championship game? It's disrespectful to the other side. Officer Tatum, great podcaster, by the way. He's a black guy, and he even said it. He's like, "Look, man, my kids are half white. My wife is white. So if people call my kids black, they're basically feeding in to what the white supremacists want y'all to do. Because white supremacists think if you got any kind of race in your blood besides white, well, then you're inferior. So on the flip side of that now, people are telling people that if they got black in them, that they can't claim any other racial heritage, even if they're half white or half Asian or half Jupiterian. They could be from freaking Jupiter. It don't matter, man. You don't disrespect one side of your heritage just to put out this virtue signal that they like to do. And Marcus Freeman ate their ass up in a way. I mean, he didn't get in their shit like I'm doing, but he basically he put the brakes on that shit. And I was real proud of Marcus Freeman for doing that. Thunder OSU Center's in the house. He's got perfect attendance almost. He missed one or two. I think he's got like 97%. It's like a home field advantage for Texas playing in Texas. Really? I don't know, man. I mean, you split the tickets up, right? This ain't a home game for Texas. This ain't in Austin. So the tickets are going to be split. It's just like people say that Atlanta is a home field advantage for Georgia, and yet Alabama has beaten them 9 out of 10 times in Atlanta. In the SEC title game, we played them in the SEC title game, 6 or 7 times, maybe 4 or 5 times at least. And Alabama has yet to lose an SEC title to Georgia. They've never lost an SEC title game to Georgia. Go look it up. They lost in the national title game to Georgia, but never lost an SEC title game, and that's always in Atlanta. The tickets are so split up that it's not really that much of an advantage for Texas, I don't believe. But I do think Texas might keep this game closer than some people think. They might even win the game. Ohio State's had 2 great games back-to-back, and I've seen this in the past where teams are blowing teams out. They're due a game where they're just not going to be on point, just like they were against Michigan and earlier in the year against Oregon out in Autzen Stadium. By the way, I did send you an invite out, Killer Breeze. Anybody else that wants to be on tonight on the show, drop your email in the comment section. Nobody's going to stalk you, so don't get all paranoid on me in here. Drop your email in the comment section. I'll send it to you, and we'll have you on here live because this is the home of the Common Joe and the Common Side of the Know, as I said earlier, even more so than all the media talking heads. Killer Breeze, as you can see, he's in the house as well. He's got his badge. He's deputized as well. He's giving a little bit of a roll call there. Thunder OU Center says it's like the playoff committee gave a home field advantage to Texas. I don't know about, like I said, I don't know about buy that. The tickets were split up. It's not, Texas don't get a majority. Like those first round playoff games where the home team got the majority of the tickets, that's not that way. Even though Tennessee sort of made that look like a joke when they bought up all the tickets and went all the way to Columbus just to have their ass handed to them. Base Center's in the house. He's got his badge. He's deputized, or she's deputized. I think it will stay close till the second half, and the Buckeyes will pull away. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Texas will surprise everybody and finally put a full game together. But like a lot of people have been saying, Texas hasn't really played anybody. Their defense is ranked rather high, but the reason that Texas's defense is ranked high is because they really hadn't played any offensive juggernaut. So it's sort of misleading. This will probably be the first good, really great offense that they've played. And the team that had a decent offense in Georgia that they played, they lost both times. So I can see y'all's point in a way. But I just have this feeling, and I hope I'm wrong, that Ohio State is due another clunker. Bagman said there's lots of Ohio State fans in Texas right now. Looking for something up here up top. I think I might have deleted something. But anyway, I'm going to bring in Killer Breeze real quick. See what he's got to add to the discussion tonight. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
It's the Roughneck. The Roughneck's in the house, and he's ready to rough y'all up. So
trying to stay warm tonight, man. Hell with all this cold weather, man. I don't like that shit. Oh, right off the bat. Sorry. I'm not going to do that all night long.
Yeah, shit's okay, I guess.
That didn't take long at all.
We just got to
just bring it out of me, JPC. What can I say?
You just got to navigate the big ones.
Yeah.
The F's and the GDs and the MF and PUSS. You know the last letter.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not even going to spell that all the way. I'll get in trouble.
So I didn't hear if you gave your prediction. I didn't hear what your prediction of this game was. What are you feeling?
I won't. In a way, I'd like to see Texas win just so they can get the title game and have that shit ripped away from them. You know, get them down, get them in there and tease them a little bit, and then maybe have Notre Dame whoop their ass. That would be my dream scenario. But the thing is, if Texas wins, then they might win the national title. Then that's my nightmare scenario.
Yeah,
because while they're in the SEC, people also have to realize you're competing against them for recruits. Don't matter if you're Oklahoma and you're the rival. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, all of you are competing against Texas for recruits. And if they win the national championship, I dare say that probably helped them in recruiting, right?
Oh, dude, quite a bit. It's not like they do a bad job already. I mean, they always have excellent talent, top to bottom. I've never known them to not have talent on the high elite talent. That's never been the problem for Texas.
Yeah, well, if I had to make a prediction, and I might look silly after tonight, the way Ohio State's been blowing people out, they could definitely make me look stupid. But I'm gonna take Texas in the upset.
Well, we're gonna see, man. This is the game where we find out if both of these teams, which one of them is for real, because Ohio State's had a hell of a first couple of games in they've been looking pretty good. I tend to agree with you. It seems like there's a dud coming, and we're gonna have to see is Texas really as good as they think that they are, or as good as can they actually win the big game? I mean, let's keep in mind they lost their two biggest games this year in the regular season. They struggled and should have. I mean, in my opinion, the no call on the targeting against Arizona State at the end of the game, if they call the targeting, which clearly happened, the likelihood is Arizona State wins that game. They kick a field goal at a minimum with time running out. So
it's a fine line, right? In a way, I don't want Texas to get knocked out by, what I consider one of the scrubs that got in. And Arizona State, because it's an embarrassment to our conference. But then in a way, it's like you go back to the thing that Texas's fans sometimes are a little arrogant. And it's a bad thing for you in recruiting if Texas does continue to win.
Well, I think you just put it. I mean, that's the problem. It just makes it. It just gives them that much more of an edge and an advantage when they recruit, and they're not hurting right now. So you want to limit the success of Texas as much as possible. It's a self-preservation thing, man.
I got a new perspective sponsor of the show. It's a new tequila I'm trying out.
Luna Azul?
Yeah. You ever tried that?
No.
It's actually pretty good.
No.
But yeah, that's what I'm drinking tonight. That's gonna be our sponsor in the future. So I'm about to get you a Luna Azul bottle and send it to you, and you got to drink it. That's gonna be our sponsor.
What is a bottle of Luna Azul cost?
See, and that's the great thing about it, is it's not too cheap to make you think, man, I'm getting some cheap shit and I'm gonna have a bad hangover, right? It's gonna mess me up. But then it's not too high either, like Don Julio. It's right in the middle. It's $33 a bottle.
Well, let me tell you something. Don Julio Reposado is some of the smoothest. I mean, look, man, if you're looking to just get hammered and you want to shoot some smooth tequila, it's you just can't beat it. Now it's $50 a bottle. Not terrible, but certainly up there. I like it. I like it technically more than that 1942 that they put out, which is 120 a bottle.
Woo! That's some shit we had to drink when we hook up one day. Maybe the Saints game or something.
1942 is excellent. I mean, listen, I used to my brothers and I, when we first moved to Austin, we went through a tequila phase, and we tested out quite a few. And that 1942 is some special stuff too. But it's got more flavor. It's got more body to it. It's a sipping tequila. It's not a shooting tequila. But it's good. But the Don Julio Reposado, man, Jesus, it just goes down like water. And sometimes that's how we drank it. It was like it was water. Ohio State is moving the ball 3rd and 6 here, though.
So what do you think about the article I was reading earlier about, Ryan Day not feeling appreciated and possibly looking at maybe going to the SEC in a couple of years?
Yeah, because he's not appreciated. Listen, that's the thing that's gonna be one of the great moments where Ryan Day gets to, he may not say it out loud. He's probably got too much class to do it, but he'll be thinking it, and everybody else will be feeling it. It's going to be, a big giant finger to everyone. If he ends up winning a national championship after all their fans have been calling for his head, that's one of the best gotcha revenge stories I've heard in a while. And he's not appreciated. I mean, have you ever heard Ohio State fans giving him love?
Not really.
No.
Because he can't beat Michigan, and that's just not the game to get to him. Let me read this comment out real quick. I've been meaning to get to it. Lonesome Darkness says, I like Notre Dame because Frank Thomas graduated from there, and he was one of the legendary coaches that was actually the coach of Bear Bryant.
Ohio State's 2nd and goal, by the way. Go ahead.
Bear Bryant was playing. Bear Bryant played under Frank Thomas. So, yeah, our national championship, some of our earlier national championships come under Frank Thomas, who was a Notre Dame graduate. So, yeah. I didn't know the game had already started. I was trying to get in here before the game started. I thought the game started.
It's halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a 7:30 game or something.
Texas got the ball. They were driving first. They stalled out, and Ohio State got the ball, and they've been driving right down the field. 9 plays, 55 yards so far on the Texas 9-yard line, 2nd and goal. It's not like I want Ohio State to win either, though. That's the thing. It's just like either way, this sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's like when Auburn plays Tennessee for me.
Yeah. They just scored, by the way.
Ohio State.
Judkins just ran for 9 yards on 2nd and 9. He ran it in for a touchdown. This could be ugly too, dude. I'm telling you right now. Ohio State might whip that ass.
Says Ryan Day here could saddle up his horse and leave all that behind these 2 victories away from painting a glorious sunset in which he could ride off into.
If I'm him, I'm leaving. He should, dude. He will have his pick of jobs. Can you imagine? Do you think anyone else will be above him in terms of most wanted on the free market? Someone, a good program, a good university is going to offer him a lot of money. Would you stay? Would you stay if you won a national championship this year? Would you stay?
That's what they were saying sort of in this article. They're like, everybody keeps talking about Ohio State firing Ryan Day, but Ryan Day may leave on his own if he don't feel appreciated. If they get to the Final Four, if they get upset by Texas tonight or get beat by Notre Dame, and they still let him keep his job, he may be like, you know what, y'all ain't showing me any gratitude. So I'm just gonna go somewhere where I can be appreciated. Like it says right here, Ryan Day could leave Ohio State on top to reboot in the SEC. And they said, yes, sir, we're serious about that. And you'll probably like some of this. There are 5 big boy jobs worked by coaches entering year 2, 3, or 4 who haven't made the playoff yet. That being Oklahoma's Brent Venables, Florida's Billy Napier, Auburn's Hugh Freeze, LSU's Brian Kelly, and Alabama's Kalen DeBoer could all be on the hot seat after next year. Would you, as an Oklahoma guy, be open to Ryan Day being your coach?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it'd be idiotic. Well, what are the possible reasons to not hire Ryan Day? That he didn't beat Michigan for 4 years?
You know, it'd be funny, man. Is after next year they fire Brent Venables and Ryan Day gets the head coaching job at Oklahoma and comes in and beats Michigan. Because y'all play in Michigan in a 2-game series.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Y'all playing them here in Norman this year coming up, and then it's Ryan Day could go back to Ann Arbor and beat Michigan right there in front of God and everybody in the Big Ten. Ohio State would be like, damn, why couldn't you do that while you was here? Because y'all not in Oklahoma, that's why.
It would be pretty awesome. It would be pretty great. And I mean, listen, I can't see any reasons why that's a bad idea. They have great. He can clearly recruit. They always have great talent. He's a great offensive mind. He's a good coach, you know, and he's proven it right now. And if he ends up, now we're way early in this game. Obviously, anything can happen here. But the fact that Ohio State just drove it down the field, 10 plays, 64 yards, pretty easily.
If I knew how to turn their radio networks on, I would do it. I think that's what NIL Commish done with the Notre Dame network.
But look, I'll give him this. His setup looks good.
Yeah.
It looks.
I need to figure out how to pull up the radio networks of the other teams like he did.
But I couldn't hear it when I was. That was the thing. Like when I go watch the video, the replay of the video, I can hear the game in the background while he and I are talking.
Right.
But when I was talking to him and live, I never could hear that. So I never knew when it was on or when it wasn't. Like at a certain point, I think people were getting annoyed because I was calling out what was happening in the game, and I was ahead of the game that he was playing on the channel, but I couldn't hear it, so I had no idea.
Well, it's probably because he's on Discord. I give him hell about that shit all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I think he's getting mad at me a little bit. That's why I was telling you off air, and I'm not ashamed to say it here in front of everybody because he, I don't want to think I'm talking behind his back. Me and you had a conversation off air. And I was like, man, I think he's getting a little tensed up at me, man. I think he got a little tension going on.
Nah. No, I don't think that's it at all. Well, Texas just got a first down. That's nice. Quinn Ewers complete pass to DeAndre Moore for 15 yards. Texas to the 36-yard line. How do we feel in the chat? How do we feel? What is the overall feeling here? We've got, let's see. We got 17 people in the chat watching right now. I want to hear from everybody. Who's going to win this game? Did Ohio State scoring that easy? Is that an omen of what's to come the rest of this game? Again, I'm not sure that Texas has really proven that they have that ability, that killer mindset that you have to have. It's way early, but that's why I'm asking, Lance. What do you think?
I was trying to download something. I can't get it to come up. I'm gonna figure it out next time. I should have been more prepared. I should have tried to get the radio network on there like he done, and you might have been able to hear it on StreamYard because I got the paid version.
Dude, it's all good. I got it. I got the game right here. I can let everybody know what the hell's going on. They actually drove the ball. They've crossed the 50-yard line. They're on Ohio State's 38-yard line. They're throwing a little bit. They're throwing back now. They started at their own 25.
Let me see if y'all can hear something real quick. You hear that?
Yeah, the Will Ferrell.
Yeah. I'm going to use this as my intro song. Effing Catalina wine mixer.
It's the Catalina wine mixer.
Para Babilo los dos por ti. Volaré por cielos y mares hasta tu amor.
They'll fix it them drums.
Oh, when you were sacked on 3rd and 12, now it's 4th and 16. Back to the 48-yard line. Texas is going to punt.
This is Ryan Day. He's at the Catalina wine mixing. Ryan Day, boy. Gonna turn it around. Catalina wine mixer, Ryan Day. Ain't here since Quinn Ewers getting sacked right now.
Running, you're the best big brother ever.
Formats, the ones that match the seats, and kind of went with that.
I traveled 500 miles to give you my seed.
Lumberjack.
Contigo yo vive por ti. Volaré por cielos y mares hasta tu amor, abriendo los ojos por fin.
Will Ferrell's hilarious, man.
I couldn't get all the way to the end of it. I was afraid I was going to run people off.
All right, let's see. This is going to tell us a lot right here. Ohio State is starting from their own 8-yard line. Can they drive the ball 92 yards and take a 2-score lead? If they do that, I think it's going to be a long night for Texas.
Is James Franklin and Marcus Freeman not just polar, complete opposites? Because, when they tried to play that race card shit, Freeman shut that shit down quick. Because, half his family's Asian.
Yeah.
Like Tiger Woods, like I mentioned earlier. Freaking James Franklin just eating it up. Yeah, I've thought about that. I think about that all the time. I'm going to be the first black coach ever, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man, your mother was white. So how can that be? It's just like Obama. Obama's half white, man.
I'm not going to lie. Not until he recently made those comments and people started talking about what he is. I had no idea he had any black in him at all. I thought he was a white dude. I thought he was like an Italian or some shit. I really didn't. I didn't even think he was a black guy. So I don't really care. Nobody cares. That's so old and tired. We don't care, man. Nobody cares. The guy is a football coach. The color of his skin means dick. It means nothing.
Well, that's what Marcus Freeman said. He said, y'all do realize there's other people on this team that aren't black that got us to this point, right? It ain't just about me, you know. And even if it
has
was,
nothing to do with it.
I'm not black. I'm biracial. Just like Tiger Woods said, I'm not black. Do not call me black. I'm biracial. When you do that, it disrespects the heritage of my mother's family.
Yeah.
Just like Officer Tatum said.
It's just, man, like I said, it's just tired and played out. Nobody cares about that. That's a tactic that the other side uses to try to misdirect people from what's going on, to divide people from joining forces. It has nothing to do with race. It's a class war, man. It's the elite wealthy of the 1% of the 1% that want to stomp you out to make that much more money.
Well, they can keep us
until everybody figures that out and stops fighting and drops all this race nonsense and all this gender nonsense and all this nonsense. Like, wake up, man. Because I'm telling you right now, you know, it's like, there's a revolution coming, man. Like, it has to happen.
A lot of these people, a lot of these minorities think they're doing it to take up for them. They're not. They're doing it to divide us, to keep you mad at each other.
Right.
It benefits them immensely. It benefits them immensely for us to be divided.
But it keeps you distracted from recognizing what's really going on. I mean, insurance companies are doing nothing but raising people's rates and denying claims and denying coverage. This is going on while they are continuing to record record quarterly profits. They're making it's like $1 trillion industry. The what they're making. The big four, that is. And so there's no reason that they need to be raising prices. Same thing at the pump. The oil companies never stopped making record profits on a quarterly basis. So the fact that they're raising the price of it because their costs might have gone up, like, who gives a damn? If you're making record profits, then you don't need to be raising the price of anything. But they do it because, again, you're not a human being to them. They're just trying to siphon all your money away from you as quickly as they can. And as soon as you ain't got none of that left, they don't care whether you live or die. That is the truth. That is what's going on. And it has, again, nothing to do with race. I'm sick of hearing the race nonsense, man.
Well, it's just like Lance Fleury says, most people are Heinz 57 anyway.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Like my dad's side has. My dad on my grandmother's side has a lot of Indian in him. So obviously I got Indian in my blood. Even though I don't look Indian,
yeah,
I got it in there. You know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of something and everything in you by this point. The world's been around too long for you not to have some kind of inkling of each and every race in you. So,
by the way, Ohio State. No, it's ridiculous. Ohio State just ran the ball for 22 yards. They just ran it. Now Will Howard just completed a pass of 14 yards. They have they are well past the midfield mark. They're now on the Texas 38, 1st and 10.
Ohio State's like a professional team, man, that they bought. You know, he said it was $20 million there for.
Well, that's the thing. They have a ton of money, man. They have one of the biggest NIL, programs out there. So
how did they lose to Michigan?
I don't know. That does baffle me. I really don't know. The last two years, weren't they winning that game against the year that Michigan won the national championship? Wasn't Ohio State winning that game until the end or something like that? Or am I just not remembering that correct?
Who's that?
When Ohio State lost to Michigan, not this last year, but the year that Michigan won the national, not this year, but last year when they won that.
Ohio State was leading, right?
That's what I'm saying. But they should have won that. I really don't know what it's like a mental thing with him right now.
It's crazy, man. In a way, you got to think, man, like it does sort of leave a stench on it even though you win the national championship, you lose to Michigan, and you got to hear their shit. Even though you won the national championship, Michigan won the national championship and beat Ohio State last year.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to hear that shit.
Yeah.
It would sort of suck if Alabama were to win the national championship and we lost to Auburn. So
Yeah, it stings, regardless. Like it definitely puts a stain on the year. But here's the thing. Years and years after that national championship has been won, even if you lost to your arch rival that year, years and years down the road, that'll hurt a lot less, and that national championship will feel a lot better. So it won't take long.
If y'all mind, jump out of the chat, smash the like button, and get more people up in here. And we got 68 people in here. We almost got 70 people in here. So there's a lot of comments coming in. If y'all want me or Killer Breeze to read your comment out, there's a little money dollar sign at the bottom. Click on that, write your comment out, and then hit send. It'll highlight it and push it to the top, and we'll read your comment out and make a little small donation to the program.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like Ohio State's kind of doing some self-sabotage here. They had a big unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that put them in a 2nd and long, and now it's 4th and 21. They're going to be punting the ball now too.
You're going to have to give us a play-by-play because I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Awesome Darkness says it's like that with Georgia and Alabama as well. Even when Georgia's a better team, they still can't beat Alabama for some reason. That's true. I discussed that earlier. People don't realize it, but Georgia's never beat Alabama in an SEC title game. The one time they beat us was in the national title game when they got a rematch in the same year. There's something about it. It's, they were talking, Thunder OU Center, I think, was saying that Texas had the advantage because it was in Dallas. I said, those tickets are split up. It's not like a home game for Texas, like they were in Austin or something. They don't give them more tickets just because they're in Texas. So,
Thunder said the Ohio State defensive player hit the Texas player in the helmet with his fist. Well, that's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb, especially when you were first and 10 on the 38.
Ohio State's on defense.
Yeah, they have to punt the ball. It's 4th and 21. It's the end of the first. First quarter ends with Ohio State leading 7-0.
So it's like if Texas makes it, Notre Dame makes it. Well, Notre Dame's already in, but that's two teams that Oklahoma don't really like, right?
Yeah, it's a loss for us. I mean, I don't either any of these three, to be honest with you. Ohio State, we're neck and neck with Ohio State in a lot of football history categories, and we're either leading, we lead in some, and we're second to them in others, or second or third to them in others. So I don't want any of these teams to win another national championship. It's going to suck no matter who it is for me.
And I didn't really watch the Penn State Notre Dame game.
Penn State choked.
My friend Jonathan Lewis, he was telling me that I didn't know this, that Penn State passed the ball to a wide receiver only one time, and it was a -3. It was a -3 for lost catch. Every pass they threw were the running backs or tight ends.
Tight end, yeah. That freshman tight end they got, man, he looked really good.
Ain't that on the head coach to maybe go in there and say, hey, we need to get the ball to wide receivers?
Well, a lot of the game, they, in my opinion, they got cute too much, to be honest with you, because their offensive line, man, was pushing Notre Dame around for most of that game. And if they just would have, I feel like they didn't run the ball enough. But either way, and again,
Franklin's MO, he wants to get cute. Once he gets up on you a little bit, he wants to start, rubbing it in your face and getting with it.
But I mean, man, all they needed to do was kick a field goal to win the game. They were tied, and they had the ball in starting off in good territory. I think they were at like the 35 or the 38 or something like that. And or maybe it was the 20, it was the 28 or the 30, something like that. Anyway, regardless, they only needed to go about 40 yards or so to get into, reasonable field goal territory. And they had like I think it was like 48 seconds left or something like that, and a couple of timeouts. So easily could have been done, and they could have won that game. And that surprised me because I've been just kind of expecting Penn State to do what Penn State normally does, which is just start losing and not even being competitive. And that, to their credit, that's not what they were this year. So, because I think Notre Dame is pretty good, and even though I don't want Notre Dame, the program, to win another national championship, I do like Marcus Freeman. He's clearly done a good job.
Well, everybody talks about Ryan Day not being able to win the big game. James Franklin's 1-15 against top 5 teams.
Oh yeah, James Franklin.
1-15.
Yeah.
That's not something. Well, he ain't played a lot of top 5 teams. He's 1-4, 1-5. That's 1-15, man.
Yeah.
If you go even further back to when he was at Vanderbilt, he's 1-18 against top 5 teams.
Yeah. Yeah, no, James Franklin has definitely not been a success in that regard at all. That's what I'm saying. Penn State normally, they usually fall apart midway through the season and don't really play well. They're not even really competitive. Michigan and Texas and Ohio State usually beat them. They usually lose to both of those teams. But this year they were better, and I thought they were gonna win that game until he threw a dumb pass. I mean, right off the bat too, man.
Keep seeing these reports percolating about Ryan Grubb possibly coming back to Alabama too, by the way. He was the offensive coordinator at Washington and was the offensive coordinator for Kalen DeBoer all the way back to Sioux Falls. And actually 2 years ago, when Saban was looking to hire a offensive coordinator before we knew he was retiring, he tried to hire Ryan Grubb away from Washington, and Ryan Grubb wouldn't leave. So now that Seattle's fired him, a lot of Alabama people are wanting us to go get Ryan Grubb, but we got an offensive coordinator, Nick Sheridan. So what do? Do you let Nick Sheridan go, or do you just maybe try the co-offensive coordinator thing, or how do you do that?
Well, look, that's a tough call because you can't deny that DeBoer and that guy clearly had a winning formula because all they did was win together. So it's hard to deny that, especially if Kalen DeBoer feels like that will make him better, regardless of what you think about Sheridan.
Because it sort of threw Kalen DeBoer into a hard situation when Grubb decided to leave and go to Seattle. After he brought him here as the offensive coordinator, he only stayed here a couple of weeks and he left, in February or March. So sort of put Kalen DeBoer behind the 8 ball from the get-go.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, I think Bama's offensive problems were mainly Jalen Milroe. So, but it is fair to bring up the fact that, Alabama's offense was inconsistent this year. And is that on Sheridan? I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know if it's on Sheridan or if it's on Milroe.
Right. I mean, it could be.
John Rich said it was a 15-yard penalty on Texas.
Texas ends up going backwards 10 yards. 11 yards. They just had a 4-play negative 11-yard drive. That is the Texas that I know and love. The stars at night shining bright deep in the heart of Texas.
You know who Texas needs help from? You know who they need some advice from in this situation, since it's Ohio stank? Baker Mayfield. Oh, they should just call Baker, man.
That's right.
Baker could have shook it up for him. Baker the shaker. I mean, I ain't trying to troll y'all, but yeah, I am.
Baker's got swagger, just like when he originated the flag plant on the opposing team's logo.
Baker's got
we
the
all
swagger.
love. We all love. And in the NFL, he's having a lot of people are having to eat crow, considering how well he's been doing in Tampa Bay. So, I got nothing but good things to say about my boy Baker.
Baker's got the swagger to put down that dagger. And he put that damn dagger down right there in that O.
Yeah, he did.
Started some crazy
Man,
stuff. Now you got people fighting and losing their minds and getting sprayed by mace.
There's a lot of people that feel like Baker Mayfield might be the most popular, beloved Sooner of all time, which is high praise. I don't know that that's a consensus, but there are.
Well, people that aren't our age probably so, but for people like me and you, and I'm not an Oklahoma fan, but if I'm going to think of somebody, Brian Bosworth always comes.
Bosworth for me, yeah. Yeah, it would be Bosworth for me. But although, man, even before that, man, they had some unbelievable. Billy Sims was a bad man. Joe Washington was off. I mean, they've had some great players before, but Bosworth, and just kind of, he did win a national championship, so he's got a chip, which I think you kind of have to, especially at a blue blood that's got multiple national championships. The best favorite player of all time has got to have a chip. And Bosworth was really good, man. He was really good, whether he was on the juice or not.
Everybody's on the juice at some point.
Yeah. Oh, he was huge, man. Towards the end, he was almost too big. He was too roided out.
That's just like The Rock, he's like 53 years old and he's all jacked up, man. He's like, oh, I'm natural. I'm like, man, Shut the hell up.
Whatever.
Don't just say no comment. You ain't got to tell us. Just say no comment, man. Don't insult our intelligence.
Yeah.
I know good and damn well you own some shit, man. It's just like the comment section has slowed down quite a bit. Y'all don't mind, drop some comments in here and let us know what's going on. We can talk about anything y'all want to talk about.
John, what are you talking about? What's a felony now in Ohio?
I guess planting a flag.
Oh, that's right. I think there is some kind of law.
Because I know they zapped a couple of those players with some mace. Them cops did.
Ohio State about to cross midfield.
Ohio State?
Yep. 1st and 10 at the 46.
And I hate Texas as the SEC rep, man. That really pisses me off.
Yep. It's horrible. Only right-wing Duck fan is in the house. What's up, my brother?
He says,
yo. Hey, it's Goose.
Says, yo, here, just doing some work. Got you boys on the background. That's right. We'll take the background.
What is Justin Harrington going to do for West Virginia? Is he? I like Justin Harrington. What do you want to know about him?
Why don't you come on here and tell us a little bit about it, Goose? We'll take your input if you're not too busy watching your second favorite team, Ohio State. I know you love Ohio State because they're right there on the border. Y'all like kissing cousins, right? I get stuck in them mountains right there.
What is Justin Harrington? Why are you asking about Justin Harrington, Coos? What's up?
Yeah, what's up with Justin Harrington? I do know this. I did put a little article in our multi-chat earlier today that I didn't know this until yesterday, but I knew they paid him a little bit more. But they said that West Virginia actually doubled Zach Alley's.
Justin Harrington is coming to West Virginia to play? I'm sorry, JPC. They doubled his salary?
Yeah, they doubled Zach Alley's salary.
Yeah, well, Coos said they were paying him $1.5 million, if I remember correctly. I mean, I didn't realize he was getting paid that much. So Justin Harrington he basically played cheetah position for us at Oklahoma. He was one of the leaders of the defense. I think he's a great kid. He was a little undersized, and he's had some injuries, but I think he'd be a good player for West Virginia. What does he have? 1 year of eligibility left? He must have got another medical red shirt or something.
And West Virginia, man, they taking everything from y'all, ain't they?
No. Justin had to go.
Oh, you saying he's used underwear? Understand?
He's been gone for a year. He's been gone for a year.
That's the new thing now, by the way.
What's that?
If you brag about having the top transfer portal player class, that's like bragging about buying used underwear at a yard sale. We've got all the transfer portal players. That's what I was telling you the other day. You know, being this big, we've been real staunch about building a team on high school players, but now you come to think of it, they're not going to stay more than a year before they dip out on you. So we might as well just give in and start doing the transfer portal thing.
The problem is, the point is, you can't build a good team that way. You just can't do it. The more portal players you've got, you're going to have it's going to be a miracle to get them to be a cohesive unit right away. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So, and then also, it's going to be real hard to avoid not having a couple of bad apples in the bunch because you don't know these kids. You know less about these kids. You don't know jack, So you don't know if you're getting a cancer in the locker room. You might be getting more than one. So that's the problem, is that just doesn't work. The solution has to be that when they finally get all of this House versus the NCAA, settled. I don't know even where they are in the process, but that's supposed to get them to, collective bargaining. Let's get some new rules in place. And there's just going to have to be some rules, man. Like the jumping around, I don't know, man. It's
what's the point?
Now retention of these players as you develop these guys and they get better, you're just constantly going to have to be paying them more and more money. So, the management of your payroll is going to be critical because it's going to be constantly changing, and you're only going to have so much money to pay the kind of elite players that you need. At best, you're going to be too deep at all of these positions instead of some of the blue bloods that when they're on a roll can get to 3 and 4 deep. That's never going to be possible anymore. You will never be better than 2 deep.
Then you might you might pay them and they might lay down.
Well, that happened to Oklahoma this year with Deion Burks. So
yeah, exactly.
I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. That kid, especially skipping out on the bowl game, which obviously we could have used him. Man, I mean, that is just BS. That's part of what they also need to fix. If these guys, I mean, Deion Burks barely played this year, and he was one of the top players getting paid in NIL at Oklahoma. So there's got to be some kind of performance, requirement or obligation tied to the money. And if you're not playing, it's one thing if the medical staff there deems you unable to play. Maybe that, that's just what it is. But these guys that, can clearly play but aren't playing, then they don't get paid. Maybe some other job where you cannot work and still get paid. Oh, please, because I will take it tomorrow.
What's to stop the blue bloods from just saying, you know what, we don't give a shit about recruiting high school players anymore. We're going to let them go to a lesser known program, say a Georgia Tech, and when they prove themselves, then we'll call them up. Sort of like they do in minor league baseball.
Well, that's what's going to happen
You know,
regardless.
like Alabama did Georgia Tech. Remember Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah.
He played for Georgia Tech, and he done really well. And then Alabama decides, you know what? We are a little higher up on the food chain than Georgia Tech. We're just going to take your shit.
Well, that is going to happen, but I mean, but that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see because, again, kids are not going to wait around anymore. They don't have to, and they can get paid at that. So, why would a kid wait around being third or fourth on the depth chart if he thinks he can go be second or first on the depth chart at another school and have a better opportunity to prove himself? Because the reality is, if he goes to a lower school to be able to move up on the depth chart, more than likely being the starter somewhere else, and he can prove himself, he's going to end up right back at one of the big schools anyway, because he's going to be worth that. People are going to be looking now. I mean, that's the world we live in now, man. Teams are always, because of injuries or kids getting homesick and leaving or whatever the reason, teams are always going to be looking for players. And so the good players on lower teams where a bigger team or a blue blood can come in and go, hey, come play for the Yankees, type of a thing.
Well, people ask me all the time, they're like, what's the difference now in Alabama and Ohio State paying players and when they was paying them back in the 1940s and 50s? You're still paying players. And I really didn't have an answer for that, and I got to think about it. The difference is now that the transfer portal is the difference. Now these players don't have to stay committed to your program for 2 or 3 years, and if they leave, they have to set out a year.
Right.
And it sort of hurts them. They have no deterrent. So they got the transfer portal now where you can just up and leave. So Alabama and Ohio State spend all that money on one player for 1 year, and then they up and leave, and you're just shit out of luck.
I mean, it's like you're going to be like what we're seeing with Marvin Jones being on his third school now coming to Oklahoma. Like, that's going to be common, man. I think that's going to be real common, for one reason or another. You're going to have these players that are going to be playing for not just 1 or 2. They're going to be playing for 2 or 3. Some will be playing for 4 different schools in 4 years. I guarantee it. It will happen.
And then I mean, that's get smart.
That sucks.
Start signing them to contracts, NIL people. You ain't even got to do it to the university. If Toyota is going to sponsor Jalen Milroe, they need to sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal to stay at that university.
Yeah. I think so, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's going to have to be – they're going to have to be tied to performance, I mean, they just have to be. Production. Not, production's going to end up determining their value, and they're going to be paid on a value system now anyway, one way or another. All these schools are going to basically have tiers of, all right, if you're an NFL draft pick, then you're this tier. If you're a first round draft pick, you're this. If you're a late round draft pick, you're this. If you're a journeyman, you're going to have different tiers. They're going to be worth different amounts of money. I mean, that's how they're going to eventually have to do it.
What's going on with the Texas game?
Texas right now is 3rd and 6 at their own 24.
What's the score? Still 7-0?
7-0. Yep. You got 8 minutes, and they're about midway through the second quarter now as well.
Might be
a
little more lower scoring than we anticipated.
Well, Ohio State's they really shot themselves in the foot when they were down at 1st and 10 at Texas's 38. They had already driven the ball started off at their own 9-yard line or something like that. And then they get a stupid, unsportsmanlike penalty.
That's what they do, man. In these big games, sooner or later, they're going to throw that clunker. Ohio State and Penn State are a lot alike, Ryan Day has lost a lot of big games, a lot of games against top 25 opponents. So, All
right, the big question is, do you think they put Arch Manning in the second half if they haven't scored?
I don't know.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not kidding, man.
I saw where Carson Beck came back, but he went to Miami, right?
Did he end up going to Miami?
That's what I'm hearing. He went to Miami. His girlfriend's down there.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
I can't
that's
believe
funny,
it.
right?
I can't believe he done that. It must have been some kind of tension between him and Kirby Smart.
That's funny to me, man. You know, Kirby might be losing his grip a little bit.
He is. I think everybody is. I think we're just going to have to start watching NFL football because at least you got some damn rules.
Well, I think they're just fed up, man. You know, I think they're just disenchanted with the whole thing. Why? And I don't blame them, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. You spend all this time on these kids now. You start off with them when they're young. You spend all this time recruiting, and they come to you, they choose you, and they sign with you, and they come. And then you got to spend the rest of the time that they're at your school basically keeping them there. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. You know, and maybe the sitting out a year was not such a bad thing, you know.
I think Dennison thinks that Kuz was trying to rub it in a little bit. That he got Justin Harrington. He said, what are we supposed to say? Oh, how terrible. We must be done and over. Boomer, we still fight.
Justin Harrington was processed out a year ago. He wasn't going to play.
He's going to play now. He's going to West Virginia.
Hey, listen, I think he'll be good at West Virginia.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you know, some people are good playing minor league baseball. Some people are good at playing the major.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying, man. I can see it now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No.
I get you, man. I feel you. I got the same vibe, man.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You
My
can't
point
play
is,
at Oklahoma, then go play for, you know, somebody that's on the cusp of being in the MAC. You know.
Man, look at you. You just can't not.
I've held it in check most of the time. I had to do something. I got Tourette's.
Texas, by the way, 4th and 6. They're going to be punting. You got Tourette's?
Yeah. I got college football Tourette's.
I think Justin Harrington would probably. I mean, I would imagine he would start at West Virginia.
Hell yeah, he would.
You know,
it's like Alabama's 3rd-string quarterback probably started.
I'll tell you right now, that other kid they took from us, Lewis Carter, that was a big loss for us. I mean, that guy wasn't going to start next year, but he was probably going to be a starter after that.
Yeah,
and you know, that sucked, man. That sucked.
He'll be a starter at West Virginia pretty quick. I mean,
yeah.
Considering they're on a lower level than Oklahoma.
Yeah.
See, you agree.
Ohio State, by the way, starting off in good territory. 1st and 10 from their 35. 8 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the first half.
I'm hoping Kuz is listening, man. Golly.
Kuz, you still here? Talk to us. Kuz, talk to us.
I should have pulled that out sooner. Damn.
Talk to us, man. Talk to us.
Hey,
I think he's still in the house.
1 hour and 8-9 minute mark. I'll make sure I tell him to look.
You should have sent him an invite, man.
I will if he wants to come on here.
Kuz, where you at, man?
Let me send him one real quick. You rile him up. Give us a game report or something.
Well, Ohio State just got stuffed, ran the ball for no gain on 1st and 10, which is not great. You know, it is funny to me that if Ohio State does win the national championship, Will Howard is going to have won the national championship. That just his career, how it's ended up, is just kind of funny, isn't it?
You might have stumbled onto something here. You know what? Will Howard plays for Ohio State, right?
That's right.
And Brian Kelly used to coach Notre Dame, right?
That's right.
Brian Kelly said you couldn't get national championship. You couldn't win a national championship at Notre Dame.
Yeah,
And Will Howard couldn't win at LSU. He was at LSU for a while, right?
That's right.
So Brian Kelly's going to get it either way, unless Texas wins. If Ohio State makes it, man, it's going to be like, all right, Will Howard's going to win a national title. or Notre Dame's going to win it. And either way, Brian Kelly looks like an idiot, right?
Yeah, this does not look good for Brian Kelly. This does not look good at all because, his whole reason for leaving Notre Dame was because he, by his own estimation, he could not get the talent he needed to be able to compete for a national championship. And
he's just blaming Notre Dame.
Well, it sure looks like it now. I mean, because let's face it, as a brand, Notre Dame is one of the best, if not the best, especially if they're national champion contenders. And you got to think the likelihood is they're going to be in the playoff every year, especially if Marcus Freeman is bringing his program to national title contender, legitimate contender. They're going to recruit well. And because they're not in a conference, they're gonna be in every year, especially since they're gonna want them to be in every year. But if Notre Dame is a true national champion threat year in and year out while Marcus Freeman is there, their brand is second to none.
Yeah, Will Howard, he was at Kansas State, but he was
at Kansas State. He started. That's why I was saying his path has been so strange because remember, JPC, he almost went with Tebow as a skittle shitter. Yep. That's where they thought he was where and then at the last minute he backed off and went to Kansas State, didn't he?
That's
or
right.
was that yeah, I think that was how it went. That wasn't
he went from LSU to Kansas State to Ohio State.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. See, so you're right, John Ritchie, but we're right too. And that's the life we live, is because people gonna have like 4 or 5 teams on their resume now.
Yes. Yeah, it sucks, man, because now, you don't like it was great when Adrian Peterson chose to be at Oklahoma. He was awesome. He was one of the few players that really lived up to his billing. And by all accounts, he loved Oklahoma. He never thought about leaving Oklahoma. And now, like, even when you have a great team that might win a national championship, in fact, if you win a national championship, that's going to be when those 3rd and 4th stringers that might be really good because you recruited well are going to really leave because they're going to have clout. So it's just kind of a bummer now because you can't really feel good about any players having any real allegiance to your team. You're always going to have to worry about them taking the bigger bag and leaving you in the dirt,
Yeah, I mean, the days of players like Will Anderson and Bryce Young staying at Alabama for the bowl game, even when they were first round picks, that shit's gone.
Yeah.
That shit's gone.
I think that's going to be one of the things that's going to have to be tied to their NIL and all that is that they're going to have to play in these bowl games.
I think some of that was tied to Jalen Milroe and him's NIL. They were told that, hey, we give you this money, you got to play through the postseason, regardless of where we're at. And, everybody was getting Jalen Milroe and them pats on the back for playing in the bowl game, when in reality I think their little contract they had signed with their NIL deals made to where they had to do that. And that's what all these NIL contracts need to do.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not – it just doesn't sit well, man, when you see him.
Did you see the article about him tipping the defense off? He might not have meant to do it. I'm not saying he fixed the game. People thought I was saying he was fixing the games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying he's so damn dumb that he was tipping them off with his stance, where his feet were standing. And they knew that. They had scouted him. If his feet were set further apart, he was going to run the ball. And if his feet were closer together, he was going to try to draw back and pass.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He was tipping the defense off. Now, whether he did it on purpose or not, I don't know. But, because it's just like he plays great against Georgia and LSU. If you told me before the beginning of the year that we was going to beat Georgia and LSU and lose 4 games, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I can't imagine that he did it on purpose, because the only way that he would have done that on purpose is if he was fixing games and getting paid a bunch of money to do it. So I doubt that's the case, but you never know, man. Crazier things have happened, you know.
Well, he decided to go into the draft. I think he made a mistake. I think he should have came back, transferred like Carson Beck did. He should have done just like Carson Beck, transferred to another school, and tried to, to get his draft stock back up.
I agree. So,
what's the game looking like?
Well, right now, Texas is 1st and 10 on their own 15. Ohio State had like a 4th and 2, and they didn't go for it. They punted the ball. There's 5 minutes and 22 seconds left. You know, Texas can drive down and score. Go into halftime tied. We'll have a new ball game.
That's a one-score game now. If they can just get into halftime only down 7-0, I ain't watching the game. But the way I'm feeling it from you guys and here, it seems like Ohio State is dominating, but they're just not scoring. It's sort of like Penn State did last night against Notre Dame. They were dominating. Right. They were up 10-0, but only up 10-3 at halftime, when they probably should have been up by at least 17, maybe even 21 points.
Yeah. Fred, what are you talking about, man? Fred said he's going to the titty bar.
Well, you ain't saying anything. We're not paying y'all any attention because y'all not talking. The only thing I'm saying here is the last comment I seen right here was Denison says I'm still at the bar. You gotta give me something to work with, man.
Denison, what is the poison at the bar tonight? What is our beverage of choice? What's our adult beverage of choice? Texas, by the way, 2nd and 2 on their 23-yard line with 5 minutes 18 seconds left.
So you go in the titty bar. So tell me, where's the titty bar close to you in Oklahoma? Where are you at?
I would like to know that too.
Where's the closest titty bar to you in Houston? To your RV park.
I have no idea.
You started this, Fred, so it's your fault, man.
I have a rule about titty clubs. I avoid at all costs.
Yeah, you learn early on in life that it's just not the place to go, really, man.
Nothing good happens.
You'd be better off just going to a bar and getting some chick that's not rubbing her thing on a pole and picking up quarters with her vagina. Sucking it up with a vacuum cleaner, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, dude, I'm not my thing.
He said he made 5 comments in a row. I'm not seeing the comments, man. For some reason, I'm not seeing any comments. All I see is a bunch of Kuz comments. I'm scrolling up, I see a bunch of Kuz comments, and then I'm scrolling down, I see Logan Lee, John Ritchie, Denizen, and then I finally see a comment from you about the titty bar, and now it's like I made 5 comments in a row. I don't see them.
Well, and I'm still waiting to hear about the name of this titty bar.
You know what I think? I think YouTube's messing with me again. They delete people's comments all the time without me even doing anything. I'll go in there and look for a conversation. The one me and you were having earlier today in the comment section with that USC goof, it was talking about USC they're waiting their time and they're not wanting to spend all this money to get rid of Lincoln Riley.
So
I'm like, so you're telling me that you basically just said in the conversation he was saying was that USC is paying Lincoln Riley to do exactly what they paid him to do. So y'all are okay with paying a guy that much money to go 7-6 and 8-5 the last 2 years. You know how stupid that makes you look?
Ridiculous. Makes no sense. By the way, Fred Bagley says the name of the titty club is Valley Brook. 30 minutes away. You should go further than that away. The further, the better.
Valley Brook. What city do you live in Oklahoma?
All right, Texas had to punt the ball again. Big shock.
John Ritchie.
Ohio State starting from their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:23 left to go.
It sounds like these two teams are afraid of each other.
They're definitely playing pity pat right now.
Somebody a little tense, playing a little tight.
Oh, Fancy's Titty Bar. Fancy's. Yeah. Something tells me fancy is not how we would describe the women at Fancy's. Am I right?
Yeah, you probably need to take the C out and put the N in there. Maybe fannies or something. Man, I've been to some hard dives in my time. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's this There's this titty bar in Dora, Alabama, man. It was like a triple wide trailer.
Triple wide?
Yeah. We was in there playing pool, man. They come over here messing with us. This girl had like marks all over her legs and shit.
Yeah, they're called track marks.
I mean, all over her leg, little brown marks. And I'm like, what the fuck is that on her leg? She a fucking leopard or something?
Leper, maybe.
And they come over there trying to get us to tip them or get lap dances or private dances from them because we wasn't coming up there tipping at the pole. And like, we just come in here to play pool. You know, this is a strip bar. I'm like, well, I'll just fucking leave then. Because I'm not in the mood to tip. You think you're too good to tip us?
It's always uncomfortable. They come sit in your lap and they want your money and they start telling you look like Tom Cruise. And all you can help to do is look and see that broken look in their face. That look in their eyes that says, Daddy never loved me enough. And you're going to let them put their titties in your face. It just, the whole thing is just awkward and not my cup of tea.
Me and my buddy go up to the bar to get away from them. And the bartender's up there crushing aluminum cans and putting them in a bag. Because, I guess they're going to get money for them because they're so hard up for money. And he just starts laughing at him. He's like, what are you laughing about? He's like, I'm just laughing at that damn can crusher you got over there. What's so funny about that? I'm like, don't worry about it, man. I'm just laughing. Now we got the bartender wanting to fight us. We go from the strippers they wouldn't let us play pool to the bartender not wanting to. And then
that's when you know you're going to die.
A girl walks out of the back with a baby. With a baby.
Oh, baby at the strip club? No.
With a baby, man. I'm like, holy shit, mother of God. I'm like, man, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's the cue to go.
Y'all got some shit going on I don't want to know about, man.
I can't be a part of having no baby at a strip club, man. I can't be a part of that.
Fred said he ain't been to one over 30 years. Somehow I don't believe you.
Well, I'm not trying to say, let me be real clear.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Let me be real clear. I'm not saying I've never been or then used to go way too much because that is the case. I used to have a reserved seat at the men's club in Houston while I was in college at LSU.
Yeah, we've been paying attention, but I didn't see those 5 comments, man. Either the YouTube gremlins got you or you've been dipping in the hookah too much or something.
The YouTube gremlins are real. They are absolutely real.
They will delete your comment if you say anything. They got these keywords that are stupid, like the word shoot. They will delete it. If you say the word shoot, SHOOT, they'll delete that shit or they'll admonish you or say that they're going to put you on limited ads for it being in your title and shit like that, man. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
Because you're talking about killing somebody, shooting somebody.
Kind of ridiculous.
If you say that, just like I just said the word killing and shoot in this video, watch. After this shit goes to this podcast, it'll be on limited ads. Just because I said those words I just said.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to request a review, and they're not going to watch this whole 1 hour and 25 minutes. They'll just approve it. Usually, sometimes they don't.
So does this broadcast over X right now as well as YouTube?
Yeah.
Nice. Can you see when you get your numbers of how many people in the room? Can you see which source they're coming from?
There's a way to do it, and I just don't know how to do it. Jonathan had showed me one time, and I can't remember how to do it now.
I got you.
But
Nice.
yeah, because normally when I would just do it from YouTube, we would only be getting 20 or 30. Now we're getting double that.
Yeah, John Ritchie says the game is all off, no offense, all defense, which Ohio State definitely seems to have. I mean, after that drive that they screwed themselves with the unsportsmanlike penalty, they've kind of fallen apart on offense.
Well, they're making me look good so far. I felt like they couldn't just keep blowing people out. I just don't see it. I mean, they might beat Texas, but I just don't know if they can blow them out. They still got 2 quarters to do it, though. A lot can happen in 2 quarters.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, and again, now the fact that Ohio State hasn't scored again may not tempt Texas to make a move at quarterback. But, man, I will not be surprised to see Arch Manning start in the second half. I really won't. I think Sark is just – I think it's killing him to not play him anyway.
So as an Oklahoma fan, before I get off here, I'm fixing to get off so I can watch the second half.
Yeah, man.
Oklahoma football next year with Brent Venables. What does he have to do in order to keep his job at Oklahoma?
Well, to keep it simple, he needs to show significant improvement, specifically wins and losses next year. Significant improvement. So I feel like, depending on who the wins and losses are, 8 and 8-4 might be good enough. Steve Lee's.
Inspector Gadget is in here.
But they definitely, I mean, they got to, it's a big ask, man, because he's got to make improvements all over the place. And that has to also equate into wins. And I think, again, depending, if he's got some good wins in an 8-win season, like he beats Texas and that might be enough, but he probably has to be 9-3.
Steve Lee seems to think he can just field a team next year and keep his job, that Oklahoma's just rolling over for him.
No way. He's done. If they get anywhere.
And then he shot you the bird too.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. That's all right.
He probably been it for me though.
Steve is a narc. I don't trust him. He knows it. He knows it.
Narc for who?
We all know how I feel about Steve Lee's and his undercover personality.
Who's he fucking?
He's
Steve man, you got me cussing, man.
Hey, and I haven't done it yet tonight.
That's the first one tonight.
I haven't done it. I feel
It's
pretty
Steve
good.
Lee's. It's Steve Lee's fault every time he comes in here, man.
Steve, he is done next year if he doesn't do well, bro. He's not staying around. I promise you. Everyone knows that.
He said the buyout's too high. Don't the buyout come down? It don't come down to like 15
yeah, it
million?
does. Yeah, the buyout was too high this year.
Well,
I
hey,
don't think they were going to get rid of him this year anyway. But
They
next
said
year, yuck food.
they said that the buyout was too high for Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah,
They come up with $72 million.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know.
Steve is mighty aggressive. The donut shop must have been closed tonight. He must not have been able to get stuffed on his donuts before he got in the chat room.
You could probably
Don't take it out on me, Steve, just because you couldn't get your bear claw and your stuffed raspberry donut. That's not my fault.
he probably tried to grow a beard like a real man, and then he got some of that cream-filled donut in it, like the damn rope sucker he is.
That's right.
Oklahoma is A&M. You're right, but I mean,
Thank God.
if the buyout comes down, Get 20 million, man. They can come up with that. A&M was 72 million.
You don't said shit to you yet? What are you even talking about, man? Speak English to me, dude. What are you talking about?
Hold on. He said, I don't say shit to you yet. Sorry. I shouldn't be making fun of
me no understand what Steve say.
Someone needs to be deported. That's what Steve's mad about. Donald Trump is about to deport his ass in about 10 days, man. You're out of here.
You're fired.
Steve gonna be hitting us up from war ass in a couple of weeks. He's gonna have a burrito in his mouth.
Steve's so aggressive. Steve just comes in just hating right off the bat. He just comes in hot under the collar. What's going on, man? Talk to us. You need a hug. You need somebody to reach their arms out and just kind of, come on, man. What's it all about? What's bothering you, buddy?
Honest question, Steve. Where do you see the SEC in the next couple of years? Because it seems like the SEC sort of slipped up this year.
Yeah, they did.
If Oklahoma's in the SEC, that sort of impacts your team as well. So the SEC's had a little bit of slippage here the last couple of years.
Well, I think it's going to take, if Ohio State does pull this game out and they do win a national championship, that'll be 2 in a row for the Big Ten. So that'll only inflate their egos. They already, if you go look at any comment section across YouTube, they already think that the Big Ten has clearly proven themselves to be the better conference, which you got a long way to go before you can claim that.
Sooner Cowboy says hopefully OU will be in the college football playoffs next season, tired of going 6 and 7. Is that what you think has to happen for Brent Venables to keep his job, is for him to make the playoffs, since it's a 12-team field now?
Ask Sooner Cowboys what Arch is in. John Ritchie is saying Arch is in. Tell me no.
Arch is in.
Arch Manning sure is.
Texas getting desperate.
Told you, man.
I think it's a mistake. Now, I could be wrong. Arch Manning may come in here and light them up like a Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. But I don't know, man. That's putting Arch in a pretty bad spot, ain't it?
Hell yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Arch
that just ensures that Quinn Ewers is going to enter the transfer portal as soon as Texas loses. Arch did run the ball. He's already gotten a first down, Well,
maybe he'll be the Tua Tagovailoa for Texas.
Sooner Cowboys, help me understand, why is Jim Knowles going to take the OU DC job? I mean, I don't understand why I hope it happens. I hope you're right. I want you to be right on this.
Yeah, y'all fill me in on who Jim Knowles is.
He is the defensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Oh, maybe he's thinking that Brian Day's about to split for the SEC like USA Today. USA Today's won't run that article. It's not like some fly-by-night publication that flew that. So there's some kind of smoke to the fire there.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State may be screwing themselves in the end, running this guy off.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Sooner Cowboys is right. I'll be honest with you. I really shouldn't say that yet because I really haven't looked into him enough. But a lot of people seem to think that it would be a home run hire.
He said Jim Knowles' girlfriend lives in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
That's what Steve Lee says. Steve Lee should know because he's an investigator.
Wait, I didn't realize Jim Knowles is from Oklahoma. I didn't know that. So where was he coaching before he got to Ohio State? What's his career path? Oh, wait, Ewers is back in the game.
Oh, shit. They're doing that stupid shit. Bring in Arch Manning like he's some kind of multi-purpose quarterback. They're going to get his ass injured is what they're going to do. Then they're going to have no quarterback.
Oh, that's right. He was the guy at Oklahoma. Oh, shit. Oh, Okay. Well, then now it starts to make a little bit of sense.
Damn, Steve Lee's on. He's finally putting in some contributions in here.
Jim Knowles was the DC when Ohio State had that badass defense a few years ago. That's right.
Now, Steve, you know deep down in your heart, you'd like to set the bar and have a beer with me and kill a breeze. Come on now. But you're going to buy my beer. I can tell you that.
Steve, please.
Don't you bring your woman either. I'm going to dance
He's a
with her.
narc, man. You can't ever trust narcs.
Oh,
Just
shit.
can't do it.
Oh, shit. Is he a narc for real?
Hell yeah, he's a narc.
Or is
You
he
know
just-
that.
Is he just a PI?
Either way.
I think he's got that Magnum PI shit going on. You got a mustache like Tom Selleck? Just curious.
Who does? Steve?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know
Man,
about
my favorite part of that show was at the beginning, man, where he's holding that girl with a big ass. He's showing her how to swim, and that big old ass is right in his face. Great theme song, too, by the way. Love Magnum PI.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites, man. Sooner Cowboys says he thinks BB has to be more of a CEO and knows Knowles can run his defense. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Sooner Cowboys says Texas just scored. Ohio State is unraveling.
Yeah!
Sucks, man. God dang it. Oh, dude, do not. Do not. Dude, put that down, dude. No. Hell no.
I had the wrong spot, didn't I? My
There
bad.
you go. Now you can do that all you want. You can do that all you want.
No, I really do want Texas to win this game, only if they lose to Notre Dame. If they ain't going to lose to Notre Dame, I want them to lose right now.
Yeah, well.
I just want them to get so close to it. And it's just like, Notre Dame's like,
Well, it'd be funny to see them lose in the semifinal. They can get real close to this one too. They can choke it at the end like they do most of the time.
is Austin really as liberal as they say it is?
Oh yeah, it's just as bad as you think.
I'm here in
It's
Dallas. Someone told me the other day, I think it's one of them sorority chicks I picked up when we were on campus. She's saying that Dallas had become really liberal, the city of Dallas.
Yeah. Well,
That's why that's why Los Angeles is burning now, because them damn liberal spastics out there wouldn't release the water from some kind of tank or some shit. They're so stupid, man. They're retarded out there for real.
they've been running that state into the ground. California is an awesome state in terms of what it is as a state, but the government, the politics of it has been horrible for a long time. They're a single party state. The Republicans really have no shot of doing anything. They don't hold majorities in any part of the government.
I saw a map where they sort of made a little bit of progress this year on the Republican side in that state.
Well, that was kind of just across the board. So, yeah, that showed up in California too, but they still don't have majorities anywhere. They still don't. I mean, they're still way, 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 way further down the totem pole than the liberals are. So,
And just remember, if Texas wins, I took Texas. You got to buy me a steak.
I ain't buying you shit if Texas wins. That's going to be horrible. Horrible.
You're gonna buy me some steak with some antifreeze on it.
Yeah. Rye Guy says the entire West Coast is a one-party state. That's right. That's 100% correct. Oregon is whack.
Yeah, whatever happened to the eastern part of Oregon seceding and joining Idaho? There was a big push for the eastern side of Oregon to secede from that state and join Idaho. That needs to happen for y'all, right, guy? But I did see a map where part of California has done turned red. Just the big cities on the coast are where they're getting their power from. It's all the big cities. All
That's
that,
pretty much
all
everywhere.
the goofy-ass, spastic, perverted shit goes on in these big cities, man.
It's pretty much everywhere, man.
Touchdown Ohio State too.
John Ritchie just says touchdown Ohio State. Come on, tell me.
What they do? Return the kickoff?
Must have. Yep. Oh no, 75-yard touchdown pass, 1st and 10. Throws a touchdown.
Holy mother of God. That's some shit right there.
That's the Texas I know.
That's gotta hurt. That's gotta sting a little bit. You've been fighting the whole game to get tied, fighting the whole game, and then one play, boom, shit's gone again.
That's the Texas I know, man.
Chris Camp says that's some BS. Y'all know these GD refs have screwed Texas up on a few calls. See what I did there? I didn't say the word, man. Ain't you proud of me?
You did good. You did good.
Chris Camp tried to trip me up, man.
I'm proud of myself. I'm not going to lie, because I don't think I've ever been able to do this before.
We said a few. I said one F. You ain't said no F's yet.
I haven't had any F-bombs. Not tonight. I think I've dropped a couple of S-bombs.
Always not drop ones because Steve Lee's come running up in here, dropping his drawers in front of everybody.
Well, Steve is he's just a bully, man. He's just mean.
You a bully, Steve?
He's mean. You're a mean guy, Steve. You are a mean guy. You hurt my feelers.
Right guy said, believe it or not, California used to be a very red state. Ronald Reagan was the governor. Yeah. You know, Alabama used to be a blue state back in the day. You know, the group Alabama, Song of the South, sweet potato pie, shut my mouth, vote like a Southern Democrat. Yeah. That's why I'm a registered Democrat, but now I'm not. So, you know.
Look at Steve being aggressive again. Look at this. This guy.
Steve wants you to bite him.
I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to lash out. I'm not going to lash out.
As much energy as you put on that keyboard, man, you could already be up in here and you wouldn't have to type or anything. You keep saying that you can't come up in here because of your job. Man, come on, man.
That's ridiculous.
Come on, man.
That is ridiculous.
Stop guarding the 7-Eleven and get your ass in here, man. Come on. They know you run security for the damn back door at the damn Sprint Mart or the damn QT in Texas, man. Come on. And I know security at QT ain't that taxing. Come on. Get on here.
That's right.
Ain't nobody gonna steal none of them damn tornado burritos or anything while you in here, man. I promise.
What are you daring us to try? What are you daring us to try, Steve? What's up, man?
What do you want me to try? I'll try anything.
Misdirected hostility.
I'm an open-minded individual. What you want?
I just think Steve's got anger issues.
What you want to try? What do you want to try? Give me your email. I dare you. I dare you. I triple dog dare you. I'm going for
you can't triple dog dare without going to
the
double dog.
We're going Christmas story on your ass, man. You're
going straight to the triple dog dare?
Right, breach of etiquette, I know. But look, come on in here, stick your tongue to the goddamn. See, you got me cussing again. Stick your tongue to that dang.
Well, now, Steve,
it's cold too, man.
We didn't know. How could we know that? I mean, I feel horrible for you, man. Nobody. That's terrible, man. I'm really sorry that happened.
I'm sad that happened too, but why are you just gonna come out and drop that out here on us like that, man?
Well, either way, man, that's terrible.
You're talking shit, and then all of a sudden, because maybe you're getting a little banged up a little bit, you're gonna drop this out, try to take some of the heat off of it. You're gonna use your deceased fiance to draw the heat back. I mean, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. You know, you do shit like that, man. But sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Isn't Sark an alcoholic? No, Sark used to be an alcoholic. Sark, I think that's why Sark lost the job at USC and Washington, isn't it? JPC?
What's that?
Didn't Sark lose the job at both USC and Washington because he was an alcoholic?
Yeah, he did. He showed up at some kind of benefit drunk, some kind of booster meeting or something.
Oh, I thought that was a continued problem from USC through to Washington. And I thought that's why he rehabbed with Nick Saban at Alabama.
You kept on with that come on the show shit.
Well, we just because we want you to come on the show, Steve. I mean, what's so bad about that?
Like I say, man, at the risk of being the villain here, you know, how we, like he said, well, how are we supposed to know your wife or your girlfriend passed away unless you tell us? And why are you going to wait almost 2 months later to use that for whatever reason? I don't even know why you would say that, man. Why you would just drop that like that. But I mean, that's just me. I wouldn't have dropped it like that. I would have told me in private or something. You know, you can reach me in private DMs on Twitter at OCF Productions. You know, maybe we can even raise you some money if you need some money.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, it's all love, man. It's all in good fun, dude. I would think you would get that, man.
Man, come on.
All right. Denizen says, what's Denizen? Oh, he's talking about. Oh, they're talking about Cali. Man, those fires are crazy out in California, man. I mean, that's insane what they're going through right now. And the fact that they don't have water in a lot of those places is just mind-boggling to me, man.
You don't do Twitter, huh? All right. Well, I'm on Facebook under Jesse Paul Clark. JESSE, no I. You can get me on there, private message me, whatever. Start your GoFundMe account. That's what you want to do. I hate to, take shots at somebody in a.
We will help if we can. The Outlaw Posse.
I hate to take shots at somebody that's going through something, but I'm just wondering why you waited to just drop that.
Well, look, the timing was but hey, it's terrible. We can all agree that's awful. Let's move forward, and I won't come with the heat.
Well, I mean, condolences. When you have someone pass away, that's a horrible thing. No matter who it is, it's someone that you love. But at the same time, you can't come into a chat room, a smack room, and start talking smack to people and expect them to know to take off the heat because someone passed away when they don't know. We've all had people pass away. You don't see me coming here and saying my mom passed away 2 years ago. Y'all leave me alone. You don't see me doing that shit. Just saying, man.
Get it?
Just sort of.
I totally get it.
Just sort of. I don't know.
No, man. I see where you're coming from. The Ducks have some.
I'm going to end up being the villain here. Either way it goes.
No, it's all good. Ain't no villains here. The Ducks have some history with Texas, but we haven't played them in forever. What is the history with the Ducks in Texas? I'm unaware of such history. Not that it's not true. I believe Rye Guy knows what he's talking about. I hate Texas more than Ohio State, Rye Guy. I got to disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, that's because you're an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah, well, it's in my blood, I guess, because I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Oh, man, I can't stand them.
The Ducks have some history with Texas, but we haven't played them in forever. It's been a while since Oregon ain't played Texas. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Fred Bagley said, "Go to the titty bar, Steve. You'll feel better. I promise."
That's probably
God,
Probably not.
that's hardcore, Fred.
True.
Damn, Fred. I just realized what I read out. Damn. Damn, Fred. Holy mother of God. Oh, man. Damn, y'all throwing some heat.
Man, I tell you what, this cold weather, man. This cold weather sucks, man.
All right, brother. I guess I'm feeling
All right,
good.
man. It was good seeing you tonight, dude, as always. Everyone in the chat, good hanging out. Fred, have fun at Fancies tonight.
Fancy.
Have some, slap some of that ass for me tonight.
Yeah. Maybe we can get together with Fred and we can head down to Fancies one night.
Something tells me that'd be a pretty good time.
Yeah, we can bring Steve.
I'm down with that.
All right, brother. Take
All
care.
right, man. Take it easy, dude.
That was Killer Breeze, the Roughneck from Oklahoma, the resident Roughneck. Like I said, a lot of stuff we say in here, we just do it in jest and fun. So we get a little heated in here sometimes. But yes, back to what I was saying with Steve. Hate that happened, brother. All I can do is send you condolences. Other than that, you can reach out to me on Twitter, create you a Twitter account at OCF Productions. I can also be reached on Facebook under Jesse Paul Clark. That's spelled Jessc without the I. Also, if you want to get your badge and get deputized like Fred Bagley, Denizen, among others, Killer Breeze, they all have their badge of deputized. You get the badge, you get deputized, you get a random 4 horseman shout out on the actual podcast, as well as possibly being the comment of the day. All right. Y'all go enjoy that second half. And maybe Texas will make me look good. I did predict Texas to win. Not that I really like Texas, but I just don't see Ohio State continuing to blow people out. Could be wrong. There's still 2 more quarters to go. We'll see. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.